Hello, YouTubers. Joe Kersey here on Sunday, 1st of June 2014 at 1700 in the afternoon, Eastern Daylight Time. Now, today I read in church, which, as y'all know, is one of my very favorite activities. And I wasn't really scheduled to read, but the rector called and asked me to read, and because somebody was not going to be there or some such stuff. So I said, yeah. The only thing that gave me a little pause was that it was going to be the bishop's visitation, and there's just going to be an awful lot of hoo-ha and this and that and this and that. But turns out my misgivings were pointless, because it all went very, very well. And don't get me wrong, I initially didn't like this guy 8 years ago, but I've grown to basically I don't like his administrative style, but I like the way he preaches. I like the way he conducts services. He's got a beautiful singing voice when he sings the liturgy. It's this wonderful high tenor. And he's obviously a very prayerful man, very articulate. He's clearly thought a lot about what he says. So I'll cut this bishop some slack, as opposed to some other bishops in the U.S. Episcopal Church, for whom I will not cut slack. See, this guy actually believes in the reality of Jesus Christ as God's Son, and all of this stuff. Today basically talked a lot about, since basically Christ told us to love one another, as he loved us and still does love us, and therefore we have to do the same. And by doing that, we become far more, we're behaving far more appropriately in our role as the adopted sons and daughters of God. When you enter into that relationship at baptism, really, very well stated, very, very deeply feltly stated. It was excellent, and he didn't wear that horrible emerald green chasuble. He wore this nice sort of white, unfinished linen thing. It was very nice. Still is traveling around with that three-legged stool. But, don't get me going on that. Perhaps another time. No, and you had 5 confirmands, not from St. Peter's, but from St. Albans down in Columbus. And these were slightly older confirmands than some of the crops we turn out up here. It looked like most of these folks were there were like 3 guys and I think 2 girls, two guys or 3 girls. I think doesn't matter. And they all look to be just on the verge of 15, if not already 15. So they obviously just do it a little bit differently down there at St. Albans. But every church sort of does things differently in regards to confirmation. Well, in the more Protestant-y churches. So that went well, and I read the 1 Peter selection, which has one of my very favorite lines from Paul just got home. which is one of my very favorite lines in the Bible. You know, beware, your adversary, the devil, is prowling around you like a lion waiting to devour you. It's always fun. I've gotten to read that one other time here in the last 10 years. It's always fun to have that fall to you. Here's Paul. He's home.
Hello. Trying to see my face.
Yeah, I can see you. You're there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it didn't shut off today.
Looked like I was aiming down.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with this thing. So that was that, and I thought the service would go really long, but no, we ended on the dot at 12, and I was out the door, which might seem a little antisocial of me, but I wanted to just get home here to the little paradise, and I did, and it has been a very, 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 very good afternoon. Just outstanding. Just outstanding. And I think that's pretty much it for today, you know. I guess next time I read is June 22nd, and I'll be reading with my judge buddy, which is always fun. I mean, they generally have been trying to keep us apart, but yeah, yeah. Sharon calls us the bad boys of the lectern, but that's his wife, Sharon. Well, he was able to avoid today. He was over in South Bend, Indiana, picking up a cannon. I'd mentioned he was going to do that, but he indeed was, you know,
Civil War enactment.
Yeah, he's a Civil War enactor, but you know, they got this cannon, they got it sheathed properly so they could fire it without it blowing up on them. Well, on that note, I'm going to say bye-bye, YouTubers. Any final words here, Paul?
See you later.
All right.